Okay. Well, good evening, you guys. Welcome out to Thursday Night Shift. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hope you are having a wonderful day. I know that we are. We are going to just dive right into our topic for tonight, or not our topic, sorry, our question. Real quick, if you haven't, I'm trying to make a habit of this to remind you guys to invite your friends to, if you haven't yet invited your team members or given them a reminder. I know for my team and group, a lot of times they're like, oh, I forgot, or I didn't set a reminder, right? So those little reminders, those little texts can be super duper helpful. So in case you might be living under a rock today, there was a flash sale that started this afternoon at 11 Mountain Standard Time. It's been a great day. I've seen a lot of people nodding like, yes, it's been a great day. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that because we still do have over 36 hours. We have way over that. I don't even know how long it's been since it launched. So we're talking about a little bit about that tonight and a couple other things. But so what we're going to kick off tonight is with our panel of SSDs. How did you market and how many orders did you get today through that process? Anybody want to kick us off?
Yeah, I can kick us off. So I did start planning yesterday, right? I was announcing it casually in my groups, on my pages. But yesterday I was a little bit more intentional because you cannot run a business just on posting and hoping, get something and praying that something's going to happen. So take notes because you still have time to do this tonight before it gets too late or earlier in the morning, like after 9 a.m. So what I did is I posted in my VIP lounge. These are my Shamrock stickers. Sorry, it's just green blobs. It's fine. Green boogers. It is in my VIP page posted. Who wants a personal shopping link? You can keep it up for 90 days. Cash in the rewards when you reach the $200 minimum. That's all I said. One person grabbed it. Yeehaw. She placed almost a $300 order today on her link. Next place I went, I already had existing shopping links set up for my customers. So I went in there, I took it a step further, I elevated it. If y'all know that magic word I'm using this week is elevate. What I did is I went into Canva, I went to their Facebook page, I pulled a great recent picture of them, put their shopping link and just reminded them, hey, you have an open shopping link with me. The flash sale starts tomorrow at this time. You have this much in sales. When you reach 500, you're going to maximize your rewards. Feel free to share your link in this graphic on your social media for the sale. One lady had 7 people order today just from her party link from sharing it. I would have never had those orders had I even reminded her of her shopping link. So total, I think I've calculated somehow in my order history almost $1,400 in orders today. But according to my numbers, when I screenshot, was almost $1,900 added in PRV in one day. That's almost the 5% sales bonus in one day. I went live and was showing and talking on my regular Facebook page and shared that into my VIP day group today. I went live making Easter baskets, showing what you could make with an Easter basket and clearance. I've got those pictures. If you need them, post and share. There's all these different avenues that I did, but I did a lot of prep. And there was more stuff I did, but I know these other girls also did it, so I'll let them share it. But that's just a little nugget of what I did to work all day long and yesterday.
I'll follow that. I'll be the one that follows that. First of all, yes, she is a force to be reckoned with. I tell you what, she's amazing. So I'll be honest, yesterday I was pretty much gone the majority of the day and wasn't really as intentional as Heather. As y'all know, I have a little grandbaby. She's very active and I had her today and I had not really prepped for this other than just like a general post on my insiders page, right? And like in my stories. But as like, I don't know, 20 minutes before it was to go live, I started literally sharing a link. Obviously the flash sale wasn't up yet, but the link of where to go, right? And I literally went through everybody in my phone. I don't care if it's been 1 week, 1 day, 2 years. There was a couple of people I messaged. It's probably been like 3 years that I've even like had a communication with them. I did not have the numbers that Heather has. However, I had 11 PWS orders all in. And I'm telling you, every single one of those orders came from me directly sending them the link, because I directly sent them, and I did it all day. I didn't stop just at like 12:02 or 12:30 or 1:30. I have continuously done it all day long. There's still things, they're still good. Like, because I'll remember someone, right? Or I'll go through my contacts and be like, oh yeah. Well, then Heather mentioned going through your set, which, were you going to bring this up? Because I was just going to go.
No,
Okay,
I want somebody else to share it. I don't want to go through all the things.
She reminded me about going into the sales report on our workstations and seeing who had ordered Nightmare Before Christmas and letting them know, y'all, those last 5 orders I had were all the people that I privately messaged and saying, hey, there's some Disney and some Nightmare Before Christmas things in this big sale. Those last 5 orders, they all ordered Nightmare Before Christmas. No, I didn't, like I said, I didn't figure up the math because I still have the baby and it's been back and forth. However, I have watched those orders come in, and that is a win. And if I had not had my storefront open, meaning my website open, this would have been going to someone else. And I'm so glad that I had a website so that I could just shoot them direct links. Like, it's so easy. There was not a fancy message. Hey, be sure to check out this amazing flash sale. I did it on Messenger and I did it through text. That is literally the majority of how I did it, other than a very generic Facebook post that was not near as detailed. So simple, but still very effective.
Awesome. I love it, Jamie. So it's kind of funny that Jamie jumped in, because I was like, well, I'll be honest. I'll share that I did not get a chance to prepare for this sale like I normally do. But that doesn't mean I still didn't put in work or still get the job done. It's never too late to, like Jamie said, that, just because the sale launches, that doesn't mean our clock to reach out ends. The sale is still going on. Yesterday and today were very busy for our family. So I was able to sit down for a half hour today and send text messages. Plus I made a post and I did a story, right? You want to get all the avenues, but it's always, for me, where 99% of my reach outs come from individual messaging. I would say, yes, posts help to bring awareness. It definitely keeps your name and our product in front of people. But if it's not bringing you in the orders you want, that's when we would definitely say you need to reach out one-on-one. And that's where all of my orders came today, including, I did have a party link that I texted the host and I said, make sure all of your friends and family are aware that this sale is happening today and they can still do this underneath your party, because she's trying to get to 500. And I'm almost positive she did get there, but I haven't run my numbers. And the only thing I did not do, and I can't believe I did it, I forgot to track my numbers this morning, you guys. I didn't take the screenshot, so I don't know how much I'm up. So keep that in mind. If you don't track your numbers, start doing it, because it is kind of cool to see what you've done during a sale, like Heather mentioned. How about you, Jill?
I muted and then unmuted. Same, like I had an appointment today. I didn't prep, and it's like crazy, right? Because I got 9 orders, but then I'm thinking, God, I could have had 29 if I just took a little bit more time, but I'm still going. Like Jody said, I'm text messaging tonight, going through recent orders, checking the workstation. Just, I was laying before this call and just checking the workstation to see what people have ordered, to see what else is in there. And I think those text messages, like they said, work great if you find things that people have ordered and that now is on sale, to kind of go with what they've already ordered, because they'll go look at it either way and usually find something else. So another order just popped in. Again, I think text messaging is great. I did a story. I posted twice in my VIP group. And what works for me is posting, like Jamie said, 5 or 10 minutes before the sale. And then people will see it, because if you let them know, like I do post, but I feel like people just forget and I have to post again. So I always post 5 or 10 minutes before, post it in my stories, and then the text messages for me. But I will be prepared for the next one, because who knows where I could be in PRV. But still, like 8 to 10 isn't bad, just for basics and to keep going. Like you said, we have a whole nother day. So just keep texting people, send those private messages, and try to turn it into a party. You never know where the conversation is going to go. And that's the ultimate goal, right? So yeah. Callie?
Yes. So it's been a great day. It's been exciting. It's been busy. So I will say I did some pre-prep in regards to posting before the sale, but a lot of mine actually came after the sale started. Once I knew it was on there, kind of could see, as well as like not sometimes it can be frustrating, right? When we know this, when your customers or even yourself get into the sale and some things sell out really quick and they get removed from your cart and that type of thing. So this was one of those times that I waited, I got in there, I placed my order. And then once I was in the queue, I started taking screenshots of all the things. I think it's really great to see what the original price was versus the redlined price, right? And so I tried my best to screenshot that image with both of those so that they could see those discounts. And then I went to all of my avenues that I communicate with my customers. I went to made a post on my Facebook and my Instagram. I went to my Instagram stories and showed all the things that were on sale and used the sticker in the top right of your Instagram stories. Once you record it, click the sticker and click the link option, and you can link them right to your flash sale page. Just copy that link, put it in Instagram. When they click it, they can all go. We all have that feature now. And so that was something that that's where I started. And then I went into some of the groups I'm a part of that I am able to share in, and I was starting to share there, and that started that train. So overall, I am at 14 orders minus my own, and over 700 PRV for the day. So and not that bad. And that was how I went. Oh, I lied. I also did text messages. So I saw Melissa post in the chat that she used Project Broadcast and that she had sent some first time texts using a trackable link and all that fun stuff. Exact same thing. I sent a Project Broadcast out. Some people responded. I offered in there if they would like their own personal shopping link. I had one person respond and said they wanted a personal shopping link. That's a win, right? So I think that sometimes we focus so much on the big results, but if you can just focus on the small wins, then that completely catapults your vibe, your whatever, right? And I will say, hanging out with friends and stuff, or even going on your team pages and saying, I got one, here's my sale, here's my order, because that was the thing. We were all sitting here kind of day and be like, hey, I got a sale. Hey, another email, another this, another that, right? And it kind of just fuels that fire of excitement. So it was a good day. Okay, so let's I think Melissa and Jen still, I know Melissa's at a family event, and I think Jen was going to try and make it, but she may not have made it back yet. So I think we've gone through all of us. So let's expand upon this a little more and dive into some tips and things. You want to start us on that?
Yeah, so I think the important thing is regarding the sale, you have so much time tomorrow. This is not in until Saturday. Don't focus on the items that aren't there. You focus on the items that are there and how great they are. What can you build from that? What would you use for that? The plastic eggs at Dollar Tree that are now $1.25 instead of $1. Callie's got it. Perfect. Those hold the buddy clips. People, St. Patty's is over, right? People are thinking Easter. People want to save money right now. The gas prices are rising. The cost of everything is rising. When you can offer value and tips and savings to people, whether it's in Scentsy or in life, people are going to value and respect you and trust you, and they'll really appreciate building that relationship. Right now is a great time to build and nourish those relationships that you have with customers. And I think when you're passing on savings through different ways, and we're really going to dive into that today for several reasons. But the most recent one I want to share with you guys is today I was like vomit of the mouth. Today I was the lady puking flash sale everywhere today. I was the obnoxious salesperson, but I got so excited when I saw how many things, and I kept scrolling, show more, show more, show more. I thought, somebody is punking me. I mean, I'm wearing green. What is happening? This sale is amazing. And so that's what you need to focus on. If you need help figuring out what's on there and how you're going to market it, talk to other consultants. We will get you a game plan. I will find you a purpose for Midnight Fig or a Hamish the Cow or a Go-Go Mango body cream. I'm going to find you a purpose. Had we not done this and spent the time and energy, I would not have had $570 commission made today, which would be a big chunk to attend reunion. So I know a lot of you are probably thinking, I'm not going to SFR. I just don't have time to get those kind of funds together. Well, tonight we have a roadmap, a plan for you to show you it is possible to get reunion paid for, doing a little extra, giving a little bit more effort to make it possible for you to attend. We're going to show you and share ways with you of saving money, how to budget, life-saving hacks tonight. We've got a whole bunch of different information that I think you guys will really, really appreciate and be able to just take note. And if you don't use it, share it with your audience. People are watching, people are listening. Not everybody purchased from me making an Easter basket. One person did. Every time I shared something different, I got a bite from it one way or the other. And it's the same thing that we're sharing today. All this information or these apps or these programs or ways, it's going to be a way that you can share and connect with someone. And bottom line, it's all about connection.
Okay, so yes, and apps and something as well as you're kind of thinking through that, and maybe as we kind of talk through these things, you're gonna have some things that jog your memory. So I was watching, surprise, surprise, I was watching Reels the other day, and she shared 10 things that you can share 10 things of to help give you context around this, right? And so we're gonna share that as well. Were we also gonna share how to find those sales reports for them on some of those things as well?
I think let's share that now. Would you mind sharing that now? Because I think that's very important that they can use tonight, especially if they're in Cali.
Yes, for sure. So I'm going to, let me log in. So you're going to go into your workstation and I will share this part. I'm trying not to share like pertinent information. So if I stop all of a sudden or hit pause, that's why. So you're in your workstation and you click the reporting option, and then you have this view sales report here. So click view sales report, and then you're going to come up with and things are running a little bit slow today, I'm not going to lie. So there's probably multiple ways that you can do this between customer purchase history, reorder, product history, follow up for promotions and things, right? There are a lot of options. Today, I was personally using the product history one. So then I came in here, and first things first, there's no data display. And you're like, wait, what? So I came in, I clicked the calendar, and I just hit the first day of that it was allowed, because that's as the earliest that we can go, right? And then it's already set for today's date. You can come into search by product name, and then for the example that we're using today was Nightmare Before Christmas. So I just typed in night, and then I literally went through and I clicked all of these buttons for Nightmare Before Christmas, right? There's a couple there, I forgot that one and that one. And then once you hit search, it's going to show you all my customers' information. So I'm not going to do that because we do put these on YouTube. But once you hit search, it's going to start populating. Now there's going to be 3 little dots over here that blink. It takes a minute, I'm not going to lie. And I also, when I was talking to the girls earlier, I was like, I know there's another customer that bought. And as I continued to do my scroll down, they loaded. It just took some time. So be patient with that. Another thing that you can do, because right now there was the Black Panther buddy on there, right? So you could search Marvel, and you could go in and click, and there was Groot on there. There was all of these things, right? So you can go in and click them all and hit search, and those will pop up. So now you have your people that are interested in Marvel. So if maybe they didn't already buy these, you can see which items it will show you here when this pops up, which ones they did buy. And you could say, hey, I know you bought the wall fan for Black Panther, but did you know the buddy is now on sale, right? Or whatever. So that is a way that you can use these features to reach out. Another thing was maybe there is a fragrance like from the Bring Back My Bar collection, right? Ocean was on there, French Kiss was on there for a minute, boho. You could go in and say, hey, you can search those fragrances. These are on our clearance right now. I know you ordered them. If these were one of your favorites that you fell in love with, now you can get it for X dollars, right? So that's another way to use those features to really help you know who to contact and who to reach out to if you're not maybe tracking that in another way. So,
and you probably could search out Disney the same on that same report and rock and roll with those as well, right? So you've got a timeline here. So I was speaking with somebody earlier. I won't use her name because she's on here, and we were focusing on doing something else. And I'm like, no, stop in the tracks. Don't even focus on this. We got this many hours left in the sale. Let's focus on that to hit your next big goal, because the sale will be gone Saturday at noon. So prioritize important things that are time sensitive, right? Okay, so let's run through really quick. Frugal ways, penny pincher, business basics, cutting corners. We're just going to kind of throw some things out there for you. Talking about SFR. Let's talk about SFR first. Callie, would y'all okay with that?
Mhm.
On ways to save money. So here's what I want to share with you about this. You have plenty of time to pay for reunion between now and the event. So whether you think you can or you can't, you're absolutely right. What I've seen today in the numbers, not just my numbers and everybody else's numbers, anything is possible today. If you find the right person, that adds a lot of volume and a lot of PRV to your account, which equals money in your pocket. So think of that first. You've got to figure out who you're contacting, right? Individual customers that love a certain product, reaching out to past hostesses, people that have shopping links, digging into that customer base and go for it. Start texting. Do not post. You're not going to get results. You're going to end up, it's a great addition, if you will, but for every message you're sending out, you'll probably have a greater chance of response and an order. I would say way higher than just posting. And you won't know until you try. And yes, I did feel a little weird sending these messages to these people I hadn't talked to in a while, but I just said, hey girl, I noticed you bought this in the past. I wanted to know there are tons on my clearance today. It ends Saturday at noon. Here's a link if you want to check it out. That was all my message said. I did some text messages and I did private messages. Focus on getting parties booked, not individual orders. If you are trying to get to reunion, you've got to throw the orders out the window, and every person that comes to you, you need to ask them, have you ever thought about hosting a Scent event with me? You have to ask that, plain and simple. This is like no BS, like straight to the point. You have to just ask, and it's going to be uncomfortable, right? You are going to feel a little weird, but that you need those yeses. That's the fast track to where we get that PRV sooner, where we're getting that commission in your pocket. Okay, so my first tip for SFR is if you're military, every time I call places, I ask for military discount. Immediately. We always do 4 people to a room and 2 queen beds. So Jody's usually sleeping next to me, and or JP, like we're this tight, and because I'm the size of a house, and I'm like in this tiny little queen bed, and it's like uncomfortable. And so, but listen, you're hardly in your room anyway, right? One of the other great tips, Mama Bev is a great example of this. Every trip that they've gone on, her and her husband, they get a hotel room with a kitchen. They will have groceries delivered or pick up groceries and make breakfast, little quick snacks and lunch and dinner in the hotel rooms. And that saves tons of money. So I wanted to give that option as well. Who else has got quick tips for SFR that y'all want to share really quick?
Those were some great ones. So if you live within a day's drive or so, and there's some people I know that are living a lot further, and this, I mean, depending on how things go gas wise, right? You're leaving a little bit of a variable there, but a lot of people they'll carpool, they'll get together, and maybe the flight of one airline ticket actually can cover the entire cost of the trip for you guys to travel. Heather has an app. What's the app? The gas app.
It's Is it Hopper?
No, the gas app.
Gas Buddy.
Gas Buddy. So she had shared the Gas Buddy app. That's one that helps you find the cheapest gas in your area. So if you're driving along and you're in a place you're not familiar with, that's an app that you could use to get gas. The next thing would be, like, I think Heather kind of already said some of those ones, like save brain, oh my gosh, just left me. Money for like eating, like planning your meals, bringing, like, I know some of us use breakfast bars or protein bars or things like that, always having those little snacks with you and stuff, so you're not spending a ton of money at vending machines. Those are always good things. I always have a couple snacks, even just because I'm a snacker, and if I'm sitting in the middle of the general session, you're probably, if you're sitting by me, you're probably going to hear me open a snack at some point, because I am totally a snacker. So that would be another thing. I'm trying to think. Heather kind of did some major ones. Yes, the
Start saving your quarters, the quarters in the clamshell.
Mhm.
Yep. If you fill up a clamshell with quarters, it is actually $20. So if you, and obviously you got to stuff them in there, right? Like, but the census has been, if you fill up your bar with quarters, your old wax clamshells, that equals $20. So another thing would be is having parties and choosing 1 or 2 parties or your catch-all party to set those commissions aside and have it. You can even name it SFR or bust, right? And that is your party for Scentsy Family Reunion. You can say, I'm working to go better myself, better my business, and have a good time with my Scentsy sisters and misters. Thank you for supporting me. And you can have a party completely dedicated over the next couple months to Scentsy Family Reunion. Anyone else?
Yep. Anything for SFR?
Just Vance had a question that I actually don't know the answer to it, and don't know if we have the answer. Asking if they pay for in-person, cannot attend for some reason, will they be able to attend virtual?
I'm sure you'll have to email events probably,
Yeah,
but
I don't think we've gotten that information.
Yes.
I'm sure that they would have a good answer. I think they would. I mean, but I don't want to speak for them.
Yeah, I don't know what that would come out to, but I would definitely just events@scentsy.com and they can take care of you.
Go ahead, JP.
Oh, it's not much. I have the baby in and out, so that's why I keep muting. But they covered the main things because I'm a snacker too, and I'm always going to have something in my bag. Wear good shoes that you, if you are not like close to your hotel, that if you can't like go back and put your feet up, just wear real comfy shoes. I know that's not necessarily a saving tip, but it's just a tip that I made the mistake the first time of walking around and like got blisters all over my feet. Oh, there was something else I was going to say and I forgot. It will come back to me, but that was just the other thing that I thought of really quick.
I also want to tell you, it's right around the time when new catalog comes out, right? You're always getting the new products, usually when they do giveaways. Keep in mind, if you don't attend reunion, more than likely you're buying those sales product kits and scent fragrance kits anyway. So you're spending that money. Usually when Scentsy does giveaways, and I heard it's more like Oprah moments this year that's coming, you don't have to spend that money if you get it stuff at reunion. So keep that in mind, right? That money is going to go to product one way or the other. Instead, you're just paying for reunion, excellent training, public speakers. The exercise guy is there. What's his name? I don't exercise. So
Caleb from the Fitness Marshal.
Okay, the Fitness Marshal guy. I don't even know who that is, but how exciting for some of you. I won't be there, but I'll be watching other people get exercise done. I'll be at the bar drinking a mimosa. If y'all want to join me for that exercise, I'll be there as well. But to keep in mind, I could be, yeah. Listen, I have been known to do something crazy once or twice.
Oh.
I have. So y'all, registration's $300 to go. $300. Fitness Marshals, $45.
Before we dive into costs, I have to say something real quick.
Yes.
So everything, okay, I shouldn't say everything. 95% of the things that you will do on your way to and at Scentsy Family Reunion are a tax write-off for your business. So that's another thing to keep in mind. As you are spending this money, however it comes from for yourself, we want you to spend Scentsy money on family, not family money on Scentsy. And that includes going to Scentsy Family Reunion. So that's why we're really wanting to talk about like these money saving tips and what it's going to cost so you can set that expectation and make a plan to be there. Because I think one of the things we kind of skipped, and I would love for you guys to throw it in the chat, especially if you've attended before, is why is Scentsy Family Reunion a must for you? And I would say for me, it's a must because I know that the connection at Scentsy and the feeling that you get can never, ever, 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 ever be replaced through a screen. So if you feel passion, if you feel excited, if you feel any feels when you've attended virtual events or when you've attended a training or a powwow or whatever, that's a huge thing. Does anybody, Jamie?
Well, and there's stats to back it up. People that go to events versus the people that don't, there is statistic numbers that prove the proof is in the numbers, right? Numbers don't lie.
After my first SFR, I came home talking about all kinds of things. And my husband was like, I don't know what any of that means. What director? Okay, great. I don't know any of the people or the things that you're talking about, but he could see the energy that I came home with. And he also saw the difference in my business from like that year on, like that. Like I had been in for 2 years before I went to a convent to SFR. So it was a minute before I ever got to go to one. And it literally was the changing point in my career. So I don't know anything other than, like Jill said, the energy, it's the people, it's the experience in itself. And when you hear people say leaders are born at events, I get it. It's true, because you just, it's hard to explain, but it is just something that you experience.
There's something to be said, you know, we can look at each other online, but it's pretty cool if you have any self-doubt to look around a room of 5, 6, however many are going to be there this year, but 5, 6, 7,000 people and be like, they're all just like me. Like everyone's just like me. Everyone has struggles. Everyone has things going on. Everyone has stuff. Everyone has self-doubt. Everyone has negative self-talk. Like all of us have the same things, but to look around and be in a room and be like, if she's doing that and she can be up there, like we live in the same state, we live in the same town, we live in the state, like you just feel like I can really do this too. And Callie's right. It's just different. We can look at each other on screen, but when you're in that room, people are cheering and yelling and you see the potential, you see the things that, you know, the average anyone joined 2 months ago and is already promoting 2, 3 levels up, and they just dared to ask people or dared to share something that they love. The potential is crazy. And to be in a room with all those people and see that, that's something that you can't replace sitting virtually. Like it's great to see everyone every week, but sitting in a room like that and feeling that energy is just second to none.
Well, and I've been saying for a while, like, I can't wait to feel it, right? Like feel the vibration, feel the energy in the room, see the lights, feel the music, feel all of the things, because it's very hard to describe that, what that does to somebody. That's very, very hard to put into words. I can tell you that if you've never attended an SFR, and you go with the right intentions, you go with an open mind, you go with the intention of pouring yourself into this, I'm going to absorb whatever I can, and I'm going to be around people, you will leave a changed person and not just a consultant. I go to convention, and most of the time what touches or changes me the most are the keynotes who are more on the motivational side, not the numbers and the technique side. For me, it fills my cup on a completely different level than that. So it depends on what you're looking for. And I guarantee you'll find it at SFR if you go with an open mind. Now, with that being said, for a lot of people, this is a vacation. So if you go and you have a little too much fun and you don't attend SFR to the best of your ability, you may not get out of it what you need. So just remember that if you want to go and have a little extra fun, book an extra day on the front or the back end of it. And so you can do that. But if you're going to put money into investing into your business, then be there, be present, invest in yourself. And I promise you, you'll come out knowing more business techniques, but you're also going to have a lot of personal growth. And every year you go back, it just continues to grow more.
And I'm going to also throw this out there. There's people, if you have a nursing baby, they can come as long as it's nursing, right? Lap nursing baby. Everybody on here pretty much that started this Thursday night shift, we are not in the same legs. We all met at Scentsy events and became friends. We're not connected. I mean, Jill is in the organization of Callie's. Everybody else is not at all. So it shows you the potential of the people that you will meet and start talking to and make new friends and create those relationships and finding those like-minded people. And where there's a will, there's a way. My very first reunion, I was living out of a suitcase, did not have a home. We were in between duty stations, and I had to call my mom and borrow $1,000 to go. And found out I had won the annual sales, didn't even know it existed, and got $1,000 bonus so I could pay her back the money. I didn't even pay her back. Who am I kidding? I kept it. But I wanted to pay her back, but she said, no, I don't have to. But the point was I had to borrow the money to go. But I was dead serious about learning and attending. I was going to be there. And I haven't missed one since. And I've almost been in Scentsy. I missed it because of COVID, but I made my own convention here. 13 years, going on 13 years this year. And I have been to every single one since I've joined.
Amen. Because once you go, you won't stop going. And I will say this, for those of you that are like, I can't because of X, Y, or Z, this or that happened, right? There is a virtual option. Again, the reason we haven't talked about it a whole ton is because we know the power of an in-person event. We know the importance of it, and that's going to be the primary focus. But there is that virtual option. But as you've probably experienced in the last 2 years, we set aside that time. Most of us will set aside the time to attend the live event. but those breakouts and things, we don't necessarily set the time apart to really give our focus and our dedication to those. And so that can be also a struggle. So if you are maybe not able to attend, if we still have way more things to share in regards to like tips and some budget breakdowns and some ideas, right? But if you are feeling like you can't because of that financial piece, but you can still dedicate the time, see if you can get together locally with a couple team members, or even not team members, people that are just in your area that are Scentsy consultants. Maybe you had a group for world tours or different things like that you can go and post in that are semi-local, and get a hotel together and dedicate your time to choosing breakouts, watching those breakouts, taking part of the virtual content, so that you can have a same experience and have that dedicated time to learn. Another thing that I will say is you can still show up if you had a little too much to drink and party too much. I know Amanda Post is on here, and there might be some others from mine, but Fort Worth, I was passed out in the stands. So during general session, that was not a finest moment of mine, but you can still show up. Where there is a will, there is a way, and Amy Till and her husband have a photo of it. So
I'm looking for that video. If anybody's got footage of that, I'd love to see that.
I was in my 20s, okay? I grew up in Scentsy.
Goodness gracious.
That was a very bad night. There's very bad memories from that one. So
I have never done that at any reunion, just so y'all know.
But Luigi, you did leave your wallet with Luigi. So
I know when he found it back, it was in the little pedaling thing. I ate too much food and lost it.
Yeah, we did. Okay. So anyways, the other point of that is obviously we all have, and Jen had actually said this earlier, we should all, but she's not quite on yet. We all have highlight memories that we would never change, relationships that were built. I actually remember the first time I met Jody in Fort Worth, and I thought she hated me, and now we're like BFFs, right? So that's also a thing that you're going to come across. And really the only thing that you do is you continue to show up, and you continue to you put yourself out there, and you've got to find a will. Even before COVID, even before the current situation our world is in, whatever you want to look at, money was tight. Most of the time, most of us are here because we're trying to make more money to feed back into our lives and feed back into our business and achieve our whys. And that is going to be the same thing moving forward until you get to a certain point where it's not anymore. And these are the types of things that can help you get there. Carol Bishop Hauk, she's another Superstar director. She actually had said that her kit sat in her closet for almost a year. And then somebody's like, oh, you got to go to this event. And it was in Boise because she's been around for a long time. And she went, and that was the event that turned that kid around into something else. She's actually Heather's upline. So if you can imagine, she has a successful group at this point, right? There's so many stories like that you can, that we can tell of people that went, they dove in, they came back, and they made it happen, just like Jamie was sharing hers, right? So that is the other thing. Where there's a will, there's a way. It's up to you to make it happen. So let's dive into what like the cost is, what that kind of looks like, breaking it down from those of us that have experienced it a couple of times. And again, even if you're saying, you know what, I'm already counting this out, I'm not going to attend, I think you should hang out for some of these business saving tips and some of the things for content, right? Because this is going to be things that you can provide to your customers as tips and ideas. This is going to be things that you can share on your socials and things that you can use yourself to help make these things happen. So,
and even business saving tips for you right now. If money's tight for your family and hard, we're actually going to teach you some things right now that are going to help save money in certain areas. So it does free up the stress a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, I had another thing. Sorry, I forgot about this. Guests. If you are afraid to travel alone, like Heather said, you can bring a breastfeeding child, and they will have an area for you to park your stroller. They have a little mother's room for you to do that. That's a big thing that they're very good about. But also, if you are afraid to travel alone and you have a girlfriend or a guy friend or whoever that you would like to travel with to bring, you can register a guest. They will pay the same cost that you do, but you can register someone. And I know that a lot of people, especially if they have their own business, if they are into a motivation, inspiration, like we talked about those speakers, right? They fit into all sorts of different molds. There's some people that just come attend Scentsy family reunion. I wish I could think of specific names, but I can see faces that I've met multiple times because they attended with their Scentsy consultant and they love it. It's like their girls trip that they do every year. So that's another thing also. Okay, diving into costs, all the things.
All right.
So we broke it down. We are estimating on average that you would need $1,500 to attend SFR.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing would be your registration. Your registration is $300. Again, reminding you that these are tax write-offs, right? So your registration through Scentsy is $300. Part of that you're going to get back in product of some sort. We don't know what that's going to look like. Yes, Jill. great comment in the chat. There is a payment plan, so you don't have to pay it all up front. You can register now and put that on.
I think it was $100 deposit is what I paid. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. And then is it $50-ish a month probably?
I don't know. I paid $100. That was it. I do the payment plan every year.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. And I actually text mom, even with where we make, I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna do the payment plan, da 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 da. And she's like,
I always do.
Right? Like, because you can. Then the next cost would be your hotel. So Heather already gave a great tip for your hotel, which was if you are military or you're traveling with somebody military, have them try and book the room. The room block rates are great. So there's both the Hilton and the Marriott. Those were posted today on your news tab. There are also other really great hotels around that same block that you could look at prices there. And again, sharing with up to 3 to 4 people in your room. That's always going to cut your cost. Always try and share if possible. Not only that, you might find people that you really like, and you might find people that you really don't like. That's okay too. The thing I'll say about that is that your experience is your experience. Any expectations you have of yourself or of Scentsy, you've got to let that go, because expectations lead to disappointment, and we can't expect ourselves out of somebody else. And so go meet new people, have a great time, do what you're going to do. If you have a roommate, don't think that they've got to lock arms with you, right? But they can, depending on if you guys are wanting to do the same things. So hotel split with 3 people. The room block was $215 for multiple people, I believe. And so basically if it was 3 nights, or I think it was 4 nights with 4 of you, that's $215 is what you're looking at. But we estimated $300 based off before knowing the room blocks. The next thing would be if you wanted to attend Fitness Marshall, which I highly recommend. That was one of my highlights from Austin of the last time we were together. We estimated about $650 for your travel. Now we know that everybody's going to be different. I have some people that have booked for $99 and some people that are looking at booking for $900, just depending on your airport, where you're going. Look around and see if there's a bigger city or a bigger airport that you can drive to, that maybe you can carpool with a couple of your teenies and the flights would be cheaper out of that airport, right? The major one in Salt Lake is Salt Lake City International. So it's pretty, I mean, it is Carrie was pointing out yesterday, she worked for, can't say works anymore. She worked for American Airlines. And she was like, yes, it's, it's a destination place. Flights sometimes can be expensive, but it is a big airport. So we typically have different rates. Another airline, if it's local to you, that I know flies a lot out of Salt Lake City, is Jetblue. I don't speak about them a whole lot, but Jetblue just popped into my mind for some reason. So maybe they're having a special St. Patrick's Day deal, and that just popped in my brain, and that's why it's coming to mind. So we had air travel, hotel, $300, food, registration, and Fitness Marshall. We talked about tips for saving food. There's a lot of great restaurants right there. There's a grocery store right there as well within what's called City Creek. If you want to look up what's close, you can look up City Creek Mall, downtown Salt Lake City, and there's a lot of great stuff in there as well. So that's your cost point. So if we are looking at $1,500, we basically have 2.5 months until Scentsy Family Reunion. That was, I didn't write down that number. What was it?
We said 5 to 6 parties.
$600 a month is basically what you need between now.
And I got that almost today in the sale from pushing my butt, working my sweat today.
And I think that's a good point too, right? Like if you're working towards something that's not in your norm, it's going to push you, right? It's going to make you do things that you maybe normally wouldn't do. But if your reason behind it is big enough, that's going to push you into action.
Yep.
So
I was using this chat, which I feel bad because the people were streaming can't hear. Download the app Hopper. If you want to put in your destinations where you're traveling to, it'll give you alerts. Number 1, if you're driving, go to fueleconomy.gov/trip. It will help you map out the cost of what it's going to cost you to drive if you're, sharing a car and all that. I also want to say this. Carrie had a great suggestion. Every year, how she plans for reunion every year, she'll go pay cash, pull out $5, put that money to the side, like in a little jar, or keep it to the side. So you're always planning ahead or having spending money. Number 2, she said, we all have crap in our house. I mean, go through your closets, clean it out, and let's do a garage sale. Do you know how much money you could make at a garage sale to pay for SFR right now? I bet I could probably get the whole entire thing paid off with all the crap that's in my house right now. So do a spring cleaning and let's do a yard sale, right? Have a Scentsy table out there with your products and say, oh no, this isn't my garage sale stuff, but this is my full-time job. I do have my regular products. Can I get your info? And I would love to give you a sample pack, right? 2-in-1, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Very productive, will absolutely make you money. I've gotten recruits at garage sales before, and it works.
That's a big one. When I was moving here to from Utah to Idaho, I did a yard sale and I had all my Scentsy, and I said, oh, I'm also doing an open house for my Scentsy customers at the same time. So I had my Scentsy on one side and I had my yard sale on the other, and we just worked it back and forth, right? Because it was something we gotta move product. And in this case, we need extra income to get to where we want to go. So you can definitely do that with a garage sale open house. Jojo.
Can I mention a possible flight hack or
Yeah.
later down the road? So I was looking for flights yesterday. I had a heck of a time finding anything. So one of the things I did try to do and may work for you is I only fly 2 airlines, and I'm going to tell you, I'm an American and I'm a Delta snob, and Delta flies out, their hub is Salt Lake. So sometimes you can find better flights than that. But I was going to do an airline out, a one-way, and then Delta, like American out and Delta back. So check that too. So don't just limit yourself to the one airline, because you can do a one-way. Sometimes you can get better prices that way and open yourself up for more time options. I read an article partially today about airlines, American being one of them, is going to be doing less flights in the coming months. So book your flights now, guys, because they did say to book them early. Excuse me. But use the 2-flight option. One way is another option, door to maybe get you some better times, because my times were terrible. So hopefully you guys can find something that way.
I love it. Okay, let's jump into some frugal ways to help your business, like to help you in other ways right now. The flat samples, the Amazon paper thin samples on Amazon are the way to go. 2 cubes, a little bit goes a long way. You don't even need that much. You should be sampling. Another option right now, if somebody lives kind of far away, decide what's going to save you money. Is it worth you spending the gas driving 30, 45 minutes to deliver, or paying the difference? If they're paying the 5% shipping, what is that cost difference to the $8 to you just to ship it directly to them? So figure out which one is more cost effective for that. If you are shipping things from home, you should be using pirateship.com. It's a great savings for you mailing things from home. You'll need a scale and all of that. We've covered that on other calls, so we're not going to dive into that too much tonight, but pirateship.com. Forget catalogs right now. Use showcase brochures, product list, print off the bundle and saves at home if you need to do that. There's cost-effective ways of mailing things. We eat out a lot just because I get so busy. The last thing I want to do is go eat at home and cook and all that. Meal plan. If you will just take some time on Sundays, and if there's several of y'all where like you're kind of in the same boat, or you really just don't know what to cook, we were kind of talking about just kind of getting a small group, or we might even just share it on the monthly movement page. Maybe it's a great recipe that's 5 ingredients that can feed a family of 8, right? Stretching our dollar on these great menus. Or maybe you're doing keto and you found a good recipe. Let's share that with each other and just connect and try to kind of do some meal planning to help us all be conscious of the dollars that we're spending in groceries. And speaking of groceries, I downloaded this app today. It's called Flip, F-L-I-P-P. It's really cool because you can pick any stores that you shop at, and you can actually just circle and read all the different ads, what's on sale in the area, and it creates a shopping list based on where the sale prices are and what you're going to get at that certain store. So it's Flip, F-L-I-P-P. They had Aldi on there, Target, Kroger, H-E-B. I mean, I have all of my stores right here now in one Flip. I'm going to try to be conscious and try to save those, get digital coupons on Kroger app and all of that. So I found that one today and I was a little excited. So planning our week, meal planning. If instead of driving to the post office to get stamps, go to USPS.com, schedule your postage stamps to be delivered to you, or schedule your pickup. They come in pickup packages straight from your house. So work smarter, not harder, right? I'm wasting gas. I'm just going down my list, talking quick so we can finish the last 10. Sorry, girls. Bulk sampling. Find other consultant in your areas. Y'all, I'll bring the bottle of Scentsy Fresh. Somebody's bringing Counter Clean. We're going to make our samples and trade. bulk samples, divide them up amongst all of you in the area. It helps, right? It saves money. Meat-free
Can I
days.
just add real
Yes,
quick?
please.
So because I'm seeing this in both chats, loving the ideas on like recipes and stuff. Start something in your VIP group. These are all things you can also be sharing. These are communities, right, that you're wanting to create where you're building relationships. So keep that in mind as well. When they're saving in other places, it might give them the opportunity to spend a little bit more with you.
It's so true. Somebody had suggested meat-free days, trying to find recipes with no meat. Great pasta dishes. That actually cuts back a lot if you can just find a great dish without any meat. It'll save quite a bit. So cooking at home, couponing. Callie, what's that great place that you do the irregular fruit thingy? That it's like
I use a company called Impossible Foods. So it's a box that you can get. You can skip and do different things, but like for instance, I am bougie on my eggs. And so the eggs that I normally buy in the grocery store were up to like $6.99 a dozen. And now they're $3.99 on this app. So that right there saved me quite a bit. Jody's face just dropped. They taste a lot different. The yolks are a lot more yellow.
that's awesome.
I would just say, I'm sorry, $7 for a dozen eggs.
Yeah, but remember, it's just Matt and I, so it makes a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money for eggs. I'm unaware of that.
I think they're like organic special eggs. I think she's just weird at this moment in my life.
Oh, okay.
I have egg trauma in my past days, so we're just not going to go there.
I'm going to egg your house when I see you next. Okay. And I'm using $3 eggs. Okay. Next, somebody said there's an app out there or a site where you can put the items what's in your pantry and it'll give you recipes to make items that's just out of your pantry. So I have Spam, tuna, and pasta sauce. I would put those items in and it's going to give me a recipe, right, to make. I can make Spam mousse vide very quickly. I have rice, Spam, and my furikake. I could teach all y'all how to make that very quickly. If y'all even know what I'm talking about. Somebody does. Sherry knows what I'm talking about, my Pearl City girl. Okay, so it's a great little app, right? So we all can put those items in there and create. Water down your hand soap. I mean, I'm really pushing it. Water down your hand soap. Add a little water. Wash your hands. We got it. Bulk shop with neighbors. Carpool and go to Costco and divide up the big 97 things of trash bags and y'all split it, right? I mean, if you want to. Carpool, shop at local farmers. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say that was totally something Carrie was mentioning yesterday on Work at Wednesday. It was like bulk with your neighbors. I will also say Matt and I are a family of two, right? So buying things at Costco sometimes can go to waste. I totally get those deals and break them down and freeze them at my house because I'm not going to waste.
See, and I'm a big waster. I'm trying not to be. I'm a big waster. Shop local farmers, much cheaper. Callie has you want to say about the honey?
Y'all eat your leftovers. Speaking of people who
Yes.
throw things away, Sister Gorsuch, don't throw your leftovers away.
So honey, it is an app browser that you can add on if you don't use it. And so anytime you're on a shop, their little honey thing will pop up orange if it has a coupon that they can try running for you. So you don't have to go out and search all the coupons and things like that. It kind of does it for you. So that's one that I like to use. Oh, and it works for Amazon. It tells you if it's at the high point of the price or the low point.
How do you say the one that Rakuten?
Rakuten.
Rakuten?
Mm-hmm.
Never use it. Somebody who Melissa Dell told us about that yesterday. Somebody said to follow the crazy coupon lady on Facebook to compare price per ounce versus piece. That's another great nugget to look at that closely at the price points.
Also, really quick, and I put it in the chat, and I'm sorry, I've been in and out. So I'm sorry if this was already said. I'm not going to tell you to get a credit card because I will never tell you to do that. However, I did start like an account with my airlines so that I can rack up points every time I buy one. So it takes a little while, right? But with each one, it has come in clutch many times to be able to at least I can use my points. So
I did that with Southwest. I got a Southwest credit card, and that's 9 times out of 10 how I can fly with my.
So I don't have a Southwest credit
now.
card, but I have an account, like a profile to save points towards.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I would
I
say
will
do
also say, and again, we're never going to tell you guys to get a credit card.
No.
Okay. But I will say, if you are responsible, I used to work at American Express, and that's when I learned that if you are spending money, there's always a way to get something back for your money.
Right.
But if you are not responsible, do not do it. My sister was not responsible. I'll throw her under the bus. She did not listen. And so when you pay the interest, obviously it doesn't pay off for you in the end. But if you can be in the habit of paying off every single month, you can make your money work for you. If you're military, I learned this, you can get a lot of your military, what was it? Sailors service and.
So it's the Civil Soldiers and Sailors Relief Act. If you're military, you need to know about that and call and get that 0% interest. It really helps out. Civil Soldiers and Sailors Relief Act. Your husband, wife should know this. If they're deployed, contact the ombudsman or the family readiness group. They will get you in, or call me. I don't care. I can help you too.
But even if you're not military, you can make your money work for you.
You can. Yeah.
I was gonna add too, and if all of you do a business check, you know, quarterly, monthly, meaning if all of your monthly charges are going on one card, your PayPal, whatever, go through and see what's being charged and be like, okay, I'm going to pause this month. I'm not using my newsletter service. I'm not using Project Broadcast. Like you can pause all that stuff for a couple months. Maybe you're not using it as much in the summer. Like I'm not telling you not to do the things for your business that work for you, but if you're not using those things, cancel them for a little bit or recheck or regroup. And, you know, we say it all the time. Something new comes out. We're like, oh, I gotta buy it. I get to get the paid one. And then there was months that went by that I didn't use Project Broadcast or I didn't use Flowdesk or I didn't. So at least quarterly, I would go through your statement and go, you know, highlight what you're using, highlight what you're not using. And at least if you don't want to cancel it, pause it for a couple months so you can regroup and start using those subscriptions again. Cause those can add up. You'll have $100 and $200 in $10 fees before you know it.
So fast. And I see a lot of people in the comments, read the chat. If y'all aren't, they're using Fetch reward. So figure out what that is. I haven't seen it, but I'm going to figure it out. Shop at a grocery store where you get like 10 cents off a gallon for gas. That will help, right? So be smart about that. Get Upside, someone told us about. Something that I was reading, I started Googling, and they said one of the most effective ways to save money. Well, I'll tell you my personal opinion. Don't ever go to the grocery store hungry is my biggest piece of advice. Number 2, make a list and stick to it. Don't buy another thing on that list. Whatever's on the paper is all you're getting, and stick with that. You'll save a lot of money that way. If you haven't got a new auto insurance person in a while, call, start shopping around. If you do have credit card debt, you call and tell them that everything's increasing. I want to lower my interest rate. Is that an option? All you can do is ask, right? It doesn't hurt to ask. And I think I just finished on my paper.
Working at American Express, they will not, like, you have to call. They will not just give you one if yours is higher, but and they can't control it. There was always a little place that we could go into. We could click the account, click and see. It would run it. It would tell us if there was lower interest rate. And I would say 50% of the time we were able to give a lower interest rate. A lot of people end up in an interest rate that is like a default interest rate, because they're not aware of the fact that maybe they missed a payment or something happened, or they were aware they paid it, but they didn't realize how it could affect their interest rate so quickly. And so definitely, if you haven't done that, check into those types of things. And again, all of this is coming back to the fact that we want you to save money so that you can make these things happen that we know will help you better your business and you in the long run, right? Not only that, it's things that you can turn back around. And like we said, kind of beginning, provide different forms of value to your VIP groups, to your followers. If you found a way, if you saved $10 on something, you're going to tell somebody, hey, I just saved $10 at the grocery store because I did X, Y, or Z, right? So that's kind of the reason why we're really saying dive into these. So here was this 10 tips here was the different ways that this gal said that you can create content on your channels, on your whatever, to kind of create that engagement. Save time with these with these blank tips, 10 ways to blank change my life. And you guys can decide what fits you in your role. 10 blank insert tools tips I wish I knew earlier. 10 favorite tools or products you use daily. Nobody is talking about these 10 things. Stop doing these 10 things. How I got blank in 24 hours. How I saved $50 in 24 hours, right? There you go. There's that. 10 easy ways to do blank. 10 easy ways to save. 10 facts about blank. And 10 ideas for blank. Right? So you could find 10 facts about, how people how people waste money. And here's the 10 ways I'm going to show you in 10 days how I'm going to change that up. And it creates more content value for your channels, for your platforms that you're sharing, your VIP groups, when they're like, oh my gosh, I love my Scentsy consultant even more because she saved me and da. And then I think the last but not least thing we have to share with you guys that is a business saving tip is this can sound crazy. I know. Wow. Scentsy freaking club. If you do not have your consumable products that you use regularly in Scentsy Club, you're missing out on 10% off pretty much every time you order, because you're going to get to at least $30 in consumable products that you use. And that's 10% off right there. And if you, even if it's every other month or every 3 months of your own personal products, and this is the same thing, when you're sharing these things, you can tie your Scentsy Club back in. For consultants, we don't have the 1 point per dollar that you earn for your Scentsy Club, or the 2 points for your referrals. But when you start sharing that with your customers, they have those options to save even more, right? And so if you haven't dived into the Scentsy Club trainings and information, then do that around that, because that's another thing that you can tie in with your business to help them and yourselves save money.
Yeah. And I think bottom line is just don't leave money on the table, right? If you're aware of opportunities to save, either for your family, for your business, however, you free up money for it to go other places, right? I mean, if let's say you can't go this year, I know a lot of graduations or the same time reunion is, or maybe your spouse is deployed, start planning for next year. Start planning right now, saving those quarters and putting it in a savings account, like Carrie had said, where you don't have a debit card attached to the savings account. Like you have to physically go to the bank to pull it out, because if you have access to the money, you'll probably spend it faster. So put it in an account you can't touch. I am terrible at having cash. I go through it like it is, I was gonna say vodka and soda with 3 limes. So yeah, I'm gonna use that analogy because y'all know I will down some vodka, soda, and 3 limes. But our point is during these times, we wanna help you and connect you to your customers, your clients, your VIP group, offer value, offer tips, tricks, because everybody loves to save money. I don't know of one person that doesn't like to save money. And that's why Scentsy Club is the best option. Because if people are buying Scentsy regularly, they can't get 10% off with me, but they can through Scentsy Club, right? With a bunch of extra perks. So I think that's the perfect way to close it. Thanks so much, guys, for spending St. Patty's with us.
We hope this was helpful. I hope you guys got a few nuggets and maybe even a little bit of excitement. Hopefully a few of you that were not planning on joining us are now planning on joining us.
Yeah, and work that sale, hustle tonight, y'all. This flash sale, I told the girls earlier, I feel like someone's dropping $100 bills on the sidewalk and I'm running out there to pick them up with like trying to find all these people to just place orders or what can I post? And look at Carrie, she's like, yes. Y'all, it was so exciting seeing these orders come in. Are you kidding me? Like these people that are not taking advantage of this sale and putting a little effort in private messages, I'm going to shake you. You've got to do it. Trust me. You just try it. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? They unblock you or block you on Facebook or unfriend you? Woo. I mean, woo. Who cares, right? Come on. It's not going to matter. So just give it a shot.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to thank your customers. Carrie, that's important. Thank you. Thank you. We love you.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Good night.
Y'all next.